So you want to know how to get this exotic mission so you can get the exotic class items for your character. These exotic class items do come with 2 exotic perks from alternative exotics. I got Caliban's Hand and Cytorachnes, which isn't a god roll by any means, but hey, at least I could teach you how to get one of these, huh? They are farmable. And this mission is extremely fun, and it does have some mechanics involved with it. It gives heavy whisper vibes and 0-hour vibes. So let's get into how to actually do this. The next steps will all be in the Pale Heart, and it is to do a overthrow in every major region. So the landing, the blooming, the impasse, all of it. So what you're going to do is you're going to be doing a full cycle of overthrow. And when you do that, once you fully complete it, kill the boss at the very end, you will have to search around as fast as possible. You have a 3-minute timer, but you want to search around for a Hive Guardian. Kill this Hive Guardian to be able to move on to the next location. I'll be showing you the locations that I found them in. I don't know if they're random spawns, but on the landing, if you just land and then go to all the way over to the far side, you will see in this cave area that the Hive Guardian spawns here. So once you land inside the blooming, you're going to want to hug the left hand side up until you see just any entrance into the wall. Just kill the Taken in the area, it'll drop the shield down, and you're going to be able to take out the Hive Guardian from there. Now for the last one in the impasse, of course, finish your overthrow, and you're going to want to make your way over towards essentially the lost sector. Before you start jumping up among the pillars, it's going to be on the right side. It's just going to spawn right there for you. Now there is going to be a giant Taken barrier that does show up. Don't be confused like I was. This is one that you are able to just straight up walk through. And from there, of course, just take out any Taken that you see. Hive Guardian spawns, take it out, crush the ghost, so on and so forth. Now that you have all of that pretty much wrapped up and done, I want to tell you you can either fast travel to the landing or the blooming, but either way, the mission that you're looking for is going to be in between those two. If you fast travel to the blooming, it would be closer. That's all I will say. It's going to be in this very familiar room somewhere in the refraction. So then once you're in this room, you will see 2 waypoints pretty much spawn on your screen. And they're essentially just 2 areas where it will be just a bunch of ad clearing, and then some subjugators will spawn. Kill these subjugators, they will spawn these orbs that you will take back to this room that you initially started in. Don't get on the light and dark plates. And then there you have it. You've spawned the mission to where you no longer need to do any steps prior from here on out. A flag will spawn in the room. Now, I don't know if this is for a fact, of course, but I do think that this mission is required 2 players. Okay, scratch that. I'm actually looking at it right now, and it says that there are not enough players for this activity, and I'm currently I'm solo at the moment. You need a minimum of 2 players. Oh, and I didn't even notice this part, but down here in the bottom left, it seems like there's a modifier where one fire team member needs to have the light subclass equipped and someone else needs the darkness subclass equipped. I went through this with Kata, which was on a Strand subclass while I was just rocking Solar Gold Gun. It worked out for me. I didn't know it was required, but it actually is required. Loadouts will be locked, and it is a timed mission, a lot like Whisper and 0-hour, just your, standard exotic missions, right? Vox Obscura, Presage, all that jazz. Now, once you're in this activity, there is a mechanic that it requires both of you, of course. The first main mechanic to start each of them is that one person will be on a light plate to be light aligned, and the other person will be on the dark plate to be darkness aligned. Now, with that said, you both have your own individual jobs. From here on out, if you want to stop the video, I will be spoiling all of the mechanics and telling you how to do them. If you don't want me to do that for you, this is where you click off the video and just go run the mission for yourself. But if you do want to, we will be starting on the first mechanic that you will see. So upon entering this first room with the light and darkness equipped to you and the other guy, your teammate, one person will start on top as the plate guides them to, and the other person will start on bottom as the plate guides them to that. The light has the answers and the darkness enters the answer. Now light on the bottom side, of course, after killing the phalanxes that just spawn, you gotta kill ads in order to spawn more. You will get 2 motes and that will reveal 2 of the answers. And from left to right, you say them order from left to right, and the person in the top area shoots the splinters in that order. And once that's done, that mechanic is done. You go on to the second room, which is the same mechanic, but this time it's 3, and the jobs are swapped to where the light aligned player will now be shooting the splinters and the dark aligned player will be giving you the right answer. And then when moving on to the 4th, it is the same thing, but yet again swapped to the original orientation, which was the light aligned player gives you the answers and the dark aligned player shoots the answer, so on and so forth. So where now you are in this room. Or it gives you a banner and there's 2 plates yet again. This one is a different mechanic, believe it or not. Still goes off of the sight mechanic where darkness aligned will have the answer and light aligned this time will have to shoot the answer. So in the back of the room, there is a giant U-shaped symbol made out of these totems, pretty much. The light aligned player already has some of the answer filled in, but the darkness aligned player needs to give the light aligned player the rest of the answer. So the darkness aligned player sees which totems need to be turned off, and the light aligned player just needs to shoot the ones that are on that need to be off. I hope that somewhat cleans it up for you. Now you're going to be doing this 3 times, all with a tormentor spawning in between each of them. But once that is all done, you will move on to the final encounter, which is a boss encounter. That is somewhat sort of a mixture of the first 2 mechanics I came across. The first mechanic that you come across with the symbols and the splinters is definitely involved. After the first damage phase, you will get a symbols just in the middle of the room, as you can see on screen right now. And the darkness aligned player just needs to go around and shoot the splinters that spawned in the areas of the room that have the correct symbols in order. You're gonna do this one more time, but with roles swapped, of course, as you can see on screen right now. I was the light aligned player giving him the callouts originally, and now I am the one doing the shooting of these splinters. And that one, pretty much done, right? So now we're gonna get to the final one, which was definitely tricky to figure out. But you're gonna have these circles with the totems on them. You're gonna be going to the one that has only a select few showing up. As you can see on my screen right now, there was one side where all of them were glowing, and then there's a side where like only a few of them were glowing. This does oscillate, so you do need to be kind of quick with your callouts. Your callouts to help you out would be a lot like a clock. It's just 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so on and so forth. Just look at a clock. Same amount of totems for the same amount of numbers. Now for each cycle of these totems, you both have 1 in common. Your job is to shoot the 1 in common between the both of you. Once you do that 3 times, the bosses will be pretty much all but wrapped up to where you can just quickly gold gun them, strand super them, so on and so forth. And then you get to this extremely fun part. It's the final room where you see your class pieces actually in little tubes pretty much. Now you get to choose between killing or fighting and just being peaceful with you and your teammate. Me and my teammate Kata, we obviously chose violence, and I took the dub. And then it even gives you an option to either crush his ghost or leave his ghost be. Of course I went to crush it, and that actually resulted in my demise. But that was just a little fun part, because pretty much this mission is all but wrapped up. You're just gonna collect your class piece, call it a day. If you want to farm it, you are more than able to. This is a farmable quest. Now I hope this guide has helped you. I know I might be a little bit scatterbrained. I'm kind of new to the teaching variations, but of course I take constructive criticism in the comments below. Now take care and peace.